So today's lesson is we're just going to be doing a few application problems. So we're just going to apply what we've learned to some examples here. So make sure your phones are totally out of sight for any lesson. Number one, for a period of 48 months, the average monthly operating cost for a small business can be approximated by that equation, where T is months and C is the cost. During which month was the average operating cost $1,430? So first of all, which of those letters is the cost?
No,
C. So I am going to plug in that number for C. So let's rewrite it out. 1430 equals 0.55 T squared plus 550. We don't know what T is, right? T is the number of months, and that's what we're trying to figure out. During how many months was this the cost?
I thought it said for a period of 48 months. Which month was like the highest?
Yeah, so of the 48 months, which number of months, or which month was that much, that cost that much for the small business? Okay, so this is a quadratic. So what is the first step to solving a quadratic always?
Combine that terms.
Yeah, we need to get it set equal to 0. So let's go ahead and subtract over 1430 to the constant, so minus 1430. So that cancels out. So what's on the left side now?
0.
Equals
0.55 T squared.
don't forget your point, that's 0.55. T squared. And then what is 550 minus 1430?
Negative 900. 880. What?
Minus 880.
Yeah.
It's going to be negative, right?
Yeah.
8, is that 880?
Yeah.
Now we have a few options. What are they?
You can just solve it like a regular
There's no X, no X.
There is no middle term. So we could actually just add the 880 over to the left now if we wanted. So really, from the beginning, because if you would have realized that, you could have subtracted 550 to the left.
Whoa.
Did anyone think of doing that?
Yeah.
I did.
You could do that. You could also, now that it's set equal to 0, what could we use? Obviously, we're probably not going to do bottoms up with 0.55. But what is another option always? Quadratic formula. So if I was doing the quadratic formula, A is 0.55. What is B? 0. There is no T in the middle. And what is C?
Negative
880. So if this question were on the test, you could solve it with the quadratic formula with A, B, and C. Or you could just start doing algebra 1. Add over 880, divide by 0.55, square root both sides. So I'm going to do it that way. So add 880 back over to the left. So we get 880 equals 0.55 T squared. Now what does algebra 1 tell me to do?
Divide by 0.55.
Divide both sides by 0.55. So T squared equals,
1600.
what is it?
1600.
1600. Square root both sides. Therefore, T is
40.
do what?
It's 40.
40. But it's not just 40.
Plus or
It's
minus.
positive and negative 40. But now, this is a real-world application. Yes, mathematically, if you take the number negative 40 and plug it back into that formula, it will work. But we have to go back and remember what is it asking me and what's the context that it is in. It says for a period of 48 months.
The 48th month.
So does it make sense to say the negative 40th month?
No.
No, and a lot of times these are like distance. Does it make sense that I went negative 40 miles? Or that the length of a closet is negative 40 meters?
Absolutely.
No, so most of the time in a real world application like this, you're not going to include the negative version as your answer. So I would just say 40 months. That's it. That is your answer. The 40th month, that was my operating cost. What is the area of a rectangle? Area
Base
equals
times width times height.
You're thinking.
length times width.
Oh,
You're thinking volume of a prism. Length times width.
that's what I meant.
This is just length times width. So, what is the length?
Why is your L like that?
X
plus
plus
5.
X. Doesn't matter. So, one of them times the other one is
Square plus 5.
84. Okay, so now, in order to solve, we have to be set equal to 0. And it's not. And I can't subtract this over until I'm out of parentheses. So I do need to go ahead and distribute these. So we're going to turn it back into standard form. So x squared plus 5x. And then if I'm going to get it set equal to 0, what am I going to have to do?
Right.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and subtract over the 84 equals 0. So always get it into standard form first. Then combine your like terms, get it set equal to 0. Now my suggestion is usually to try and factor, especially if a is 1. Factoring is super easy. Bottoms up is super easy when a is 1. So first, see if it factors. Second, I would probably use quadratic formula. So in this case, and you can check and guess, are there any factors of negative 84 that add up to 5? What times what is negative 84? You might have to check and guess a little bit.
Well,
Negative 7 and 12.
Negative.
7 and 12.
Do we agree with that?
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Negative 7 plus 12 is 5? Is that right?
Yeah.
Good?
Right.
So what are the answers to the quadratic?
7 and negative 12. 7 and negative 12.
X equals 7 and x equals negative 12. But we need to go back and think of what is this problem asking me?
Length.
What is the area, or basically what is x? What are the dimensions of this room, or of this closet, or of the backyard? What are the dimensions? So which one of these does not make any sense at all?
Negative 12.
Yeah, my yard is not negative 12 meters long. So cross it out. And x is 7. That one makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So let's take that and plug it in. So this just says find x. So you could just say x is 7. That's your answer. But what would the dimensions of the yard or the room or the closet, whatever it may ask, what would they be? Obviously, this is 7, but what is this? 12.
Whoa.
And does that give us an area of 84, 7 times 12?
Yes.
Yeah, so we did it right. Okay, I will save number 3 for next class.
Oh.